And we are live, my friend.
Welcome to the best sports betting show on the planet. This is WagerTalk Today. I am your host, Andy Lang. It is Thursday, breaking down a lot of college football. Dave Mason's going to join us from BetOnline. We're going to tell you where all the sharp money from BetOnline is going. If you want to know what the books know, guys, Dave Mason's here. We got Gianni who's going to do the Steam report, and Nick Parsons is going to give us an individual game breakdown on Syracuse and Tennessee. You don't want to miss that. And we got a really good section of all around the world for some free plays. Let's get started and bring in Gianni while we're doing that. Hit that like button if you're watching live. If you're watching after the fact, still hit the like button. Subscribe to the Wager Talk YouTube channel. There he is after a couple days off the show, but just because you're off the show doesn't mean you're not doing shows, Gianni.
Yeah,
it's like you miss a show to do a show.
Yeah.
So how was your last couple days? How was Contender Series?
Wonderful. Turned the profit on Contender. Hit another prop parlay in back-to-back weeks, so that's always good. Up for the season through the 3 shows, so that's always a lot of fun. But I've only released one premium play to subscribers over 3 weeks of Contender. You know, for the show, you're forced to give out picks, but there's a difference between a pick and a bet. So far, so good. A week off. This is the perfect week off for UFC because it gives us time to really get ready for college football and next week's NFL. And right now, I've just been so busy with college football. I'm working with more groups than I have in a very, very long time. And so far, so good. Like I said, we came off a really good first week in college football. I like what I'm seeing in this official week 1 of college football. Already fired 5 premium plays tonight, but moved about 10, 11 pieces already. So I could share a lot for you guys, especially added games. We bet about 5 or 6 added games this morning over the last 60 minutes. And I think I released only 2 of those 6 to subscribers. So I'm staying real selective, really focusing on the ones that are getting hit by multiple groups and making sure there's still time for them to get down because these extra board games move very quickly. And that's where, fortunately, like Steam Room comes into play where we could be betting live tomorrow. So a lot of fun over the next couple of days, Andy.
Well, let's get into it. I mean, some of these line moves on these extra games are insanity. You got Bowling Green that went from 14.5 to 21.5. And then you have an even more aggressive move on Monroe. It's like, what was half the other team suspended? What happened there? 8-point move?
We hit that. I'll give them to you right now. Get your pens and pencils out because you're about to get some college football gold for Thursday night. Start off with Duke minus 33.5. Oklahoma State minus 23. Missouri minus 37. UL Monroe minus 28. West Georgia plus 8.5, plus 8, plus 7.5. And then Ohio Rutgers first quarter over 10 up to minus 125. Also saw those quarter bets because they're betting a lot of these first quarters on game day. And so pay attention to those because that also help you. If you miss the first quarter bet, what I urge bettors to do is look quickly at the first half line. You know what I mean? Or if you like the game, let's say you like that Ohio Rutgers game over and you see that first quarter get confirmed over, that gives you, more confidence in your game over bet. Because again, if they got to go over in the first quarter, that means they got to go over 10 plus points. You get, more than 10 points scored in the first quarter, higher probability you're going to go over first half, higher probability you're going to go over for the game. So pay attention to those derivatives because a lot of times you got a lot of sharp bettors that know they're not going to beat other traders to the side or the total. So instead, they go and attack the first quarter lines, first quarter total lines, first half lines. So pay attention to those. A lot of hidden gold in them.
Let's move to Friday. Looks like the pretty aggressive line on a couple of them, but we went over them on the last couple of days, and I think some of them have kind of steadied out. So I'm guessing you're going to say probably most of the value has been extracted from some of those lines. But anything jumping off the board to you?
Yeah, the only thing that the Sam Houston State that got hit earlier at like 13.5, and then they came back and bet it again at like plus 11. That's what you want to see if you got down early. Because again, week one lines, just like week one in the NFL, is very different than every other week. The first week and the second week, I think, are different than the rest of the season until the final week. And what I mean is the second week usually offers a ton of value because we only had 60 minutes of football. And remember, the week one lines have been up all summer. So bettors have been betting into them, talking about the season. They bet week one, and then we have 6 or 7 days to analyze 60 minutes of football. And so many conclusions are drawn off of only 60 minutes of football. And because of that, you get a lot of overreactions going into week two. Like by the end of week one of NFL, we're already going to talk about these teams not making the playoffs. This team's making the playoffs. Like we draw a lot of conclusions because all we have is 60 minutes of data and 6 or 7 days to discuss it and analyze it. And I think that the potential for overcorrections are always there in week two. And like I said, with week one, the key is, has the information changed since the bets got in? Because you again, if you're betting in early and late July, a lot of things can change by the time end of August comes around. So you kind of want to see that follow through and not much resistance. But you are seeing some resistance. Perfect example, because we're talking about Friday, is Western Michigan, where Michigan did catch that steam. They got steamed at 17, 17 and a half, 18, all the way. The last account that I saw took a bet on the favorite was at 19. They jumped 20 and went straight to 21, most books. And that's when you saw the take back. So at 21, you saw some love on the Western Michigan side, but less than 20, you saw love on Michigan. So it shows you, even this early on in the season, that you're going to get some resistance. But then other times you're going to get that confidence where, wait, the line hasn't moved enough, and they're going to just keep burying it. So yeah, it's great week, man. A lot of action, and we even have some good marquee games for Saturday.
Well, let's move into Saturday. We got a lot of time on today's show. So, it's Thursday, but the sooner we can get out ahead of some of these numbers, and there's a million games. We obviously don't need to go over a bunch of them. There's a line. I don't know. There's a line I'm surprised it hasn't moved. It's my Indiana Hoosiers. They're only minus 23.5 against Old Dominion. I'm stunned that this line hasn't moved. This is a coach that loves to run up the score. This is a coach that made it into the playoffs literally by running up the score and having huge games. They bring in an experienced, good quarterback. They've upgraded offensive line. They've upgraded defense. I'm surprised that line hasn't moved. That's kind of my big surprise, quote, surprise. Were there any surprises that you're seeing on Saturday's games?
And here's why. There's a buy order on ODU, on Old Dominion. This was back in like July. They took out some of the 24s that were available and even some 23.5s. I don't know what the line is exactly right now, but that's why. And it's not that with such a big board on Saturday, it's not that isolated game that's getting a ton of Indiana action. I think if it was a standalone game, that even with some sharp money on the dog, you would see the love for Indiana kind of balance that risk out. But I think because there's just so many more high profile games, because they got some sharp money on back in July on Old Dominion, I think that's why you're seeing the lack of movement on the Indiana side. Game that stuck out to me, obviously, is the prime time game that everyone's talking about. It sucks that it's going out early in the morning. Texas and Ohio State, only because we knew all summer wise guys were taking the 3. They took the 3 on Texas. They took the 3 out right away on Texas. Went to like 2.5s, and you were seeing that the money line wasn't a reflection of what the point spread was, because bettors that were taking the dog, Texas, once the 3 was gone, they were just betting it on the money line rather than take the 2 or 1.5s, 2.5s, depending on the book. They were just taking the money line. So the money line didn't reflect what the point spread was. And it just kept dropping. I thought you would see some take back, that you would get some Ohio State love. It just hasn't gotten there. I'm interested to see on Saturday if this is a situation where you have the public and the wise guys all on the same side. Texas, again, because of all the hype with Texas, because power rating wise, I just don't see how this is a pick'em unless you're concluding that Texas should be a favorite on a neutral field, a decent favorite. You know what I mean? So again, it's going to be interesting to see where the money comes in, and it's all one-sided on the under. Again, you have last year's game to go off of, kind of that 14-point swing that added more points than we would have got. And I think that's why you're seeing a lot of money come in on the under as well. Be cautious with that, because even though with good defense tend to create turnovers, good defenses tend to create short fields. And when you do that, points become a possibility. So be cautious with totals, especially when they move, off of that 50, 51s. You're looking at 47s now, and they're still just betting it under as if, neither of these teams are going to be able to put up any points.
Can I give you something that's completely not baked into the line on this Ohio State Texas? Gianni, take this for what it's worth. Okay. One of my best friends in the world, he's my next door neighbor, Ohio State alum. He and hundreds of guys, they have incredible reads on this Ohio State team. They are terrified of this game. None of them are betting Ohio State. And They are right. They are right most of the time. They know when this team is a bet on and a bet not, and they are terrified of this game. So you got a lot of Ohio State alumni that are normally going to be flooding the market with Ohio State bets, and I don't think it's coming. That's just kind of my outside take on it. But I
haven't seen them. I'm telling you, I'm looking in the back end this morning, and this is when you would have started seeing them, because they'd be tying in Thursday parlays with Saturday, big game like that. And anything I'm seeing is already on the Texas side. Even like teasers, they're putting in teasers and taking Texas up as well. So it's just a lot of money on that Texas side. And week one, again, it was even tough doing bet on it yesterday because also, what do I have? I have preview magazines to share. Everything is just like projections. We don't have any data to go on. Everything is more or less like what we're projecting to happen, and most of it's on analysis that we've all read. We're all reading the same things. We're all analyzing the same, breakdowns of these teams. But then once you get into week one, week two, that's what I love. When you start getting some data, does it actually match up with what we thought, going into the season? That's where it starts to get interesting. But week one, it's like we're all kind of just guessing and reading off what we think. They got this many returning starters. They have a quarterback in. Their offensive line is rebuilt. But you don't know how it's going to perform until they go out there and actually play on the field. So I love that aspect of it. But we all are just guessing in this week one.
Let's do some questions here in the chat. If you guys got any questions, keep them in there. Me and Gianni are going to talk for a bit because Dave Mason is stuck on a flight. So we have no Dave Mason. Gary, hey,
great
guys.
Question by Gary, please.
Watch the shows all the time. Do y'all ever bet parlays or do you do straight bets? I'll go first, Gianni. I bet parlays all the time, but they're not normally in the main sports. I won't have college football parlays. I definitely will not have. I don't do daily sport parlays like MLB, NBA. I've done a couple same game parlays in WNBA when you got a good read on a team. We hit a couple with the Fever. But I'm parlaying tennis. I'm parlaying MMA. I'm parlaying some of those sports that are a little bit more off the beaten path. Your take on parlays?
If somebody's making money, long-term profit off of parlays, God bless them. Keep firing away. Do your thing. Don't let me change you at all. But having been in sports betting as long as I've been and having been on both sides, the bookmaking side and the betting side, what I can tell you is the majority of profit that bookmakers make come from parlays. The hold on straight bets is 4.5%, which means we already know out of every $100 we bet, they expect to make $4.50 off of us. On parlays, out of every $100 we bet, they expect to make upwards of $25, $30. So 7-8x the amount of money off the parlays. And why is that? It's because, number one, we're not getting true odds. The odds of hitting a 3-team parlay are closer to 7-1, 7.5-1. We're getting paid 6-1. So you're never getting true odds, kind of like a roulette wheel. You're getting 35-1. It's great when you hit a number, but there's 40 numbers on the wheel. Unless you're getting 40-1 or greater, you're not placing good bets. You're getting lucky. Also with parlays, my argument is we know that to be a winning bettor, you need to shop for the best line and you need to lock it in at the most optimum time. In what world am I going to be able to walk into a property and have to place all my bets at the exact same time? And I'm going to get the best number for all my bets at that exact time, at that exact property. It's just not going to happen. Maybe once on occasion that particular property has this, best lines on all three of my games at the same time. But usually you're going to have to bet it at different properties to get the best line. That is an argument against parlays being positive EV. With all of that said, having now been in the MMA community for as long as I've had, being with the UFC, I have met specialists that have turned profit with a statistical significant sample size that have a positive ROI betting parlays. So I can't argue what I'm seeing. The results speak for themselves. But I'm just saying the reasoning is it's hard to conclude that putting in all your bets at the same time at the same property is going to give you the optimum lines. So that's a little of the argument anti-parlays. Again, if I'm a bookmaker, I want parlays. I want parlays more than anything else. If I'm a bookmaker, I'm paying influencers to put out same game parlays. I'm putting influencers to put out long shot parlays. I'm not paying influencers to tell you to straight bet because my money is coming from your same game parlays, from your parlays. That's the bookmaker side of it. But there are guys out there like Andy who isolate them in MMA, isolate them here or there, and have been profitable. So why would I tell the guy not to place parlays? Fire away. But he has experience. He knows what he's doing. He's educated enough, and he's very selective, which most recreational bettors and even some serious bettors aren't. And I think that's why he's been able to get a positive ROI.
Yeah, I'll just give you a random example of a parlay we're looking at. Sri Lanka over Zimbabwe in cricket. And we're parlaying that with McLaren double podium finish this weekend at the Dutch Grand Prix. Like, those are very random sports where we have edges in.
And
we're not
in
trying
those
to pick money lines in
both
baseball.
may be off too. Like,
yeah, they are. They are
off.
Yeah, they're totally off. So, let's see. We had another couple questions here. Let's see. Parlays. This is an interesting one. Scott, FSU is a 13.5 point favorite underdog, but the money line is only plus 425. How does that happen? I'll let you go first on this.
Again, it's the discrepancy of bets that pile up. We talk about it all the time in the Super Bowl, where 10 minutes before kickoff, the favorite on the money line is almost always going to be positive EV. Because it's a time when people are betting that usually don't bet all year. So let's say a team A in the Super Bowl is a 6-point favorite over team B. And because of that, they're a minus 300. I'm just throwing arbitrary numbers now. They're a minus 300 on the money line. The dog is plus 220 on the take back. So I've never placed a bet, but I'm going to a party. I want to go have a root inside. I go to the window. I only got $10. I want to bet $10, but I like team A. And they tell me, all right, if you bet $10 on team A to win, you're only going to get back, $4, $5, let's say, whatever it is. But if I take team B with the points, I'm only going to get $9. What if I take team B to win the game? All of a sudden, your $10 turns into $22. That sounds a lot more advantageous to most recreational bettors. They want to put up a little money to win a lot. So what they do is they start betting the money line instead of taking the points. When that happens, there's an imbalance of money line bets. That imbalance forces them to adjust the betting line on the money line, even though the point spread hasn't been adjusted. So it's a lot of money line bets that do it. And you see it usually with lower point spreads. You rarely see it with 13.5s, 14s, where they're going to, take the money line dog, but that's usually the reason. FSU did get steam, but I didn't see steam on any money line.
All right. Last question from the chat here. Any tennis looks today? DraftKings has a no sweat promo. No sweat. Really? So now, Johnny, not only do we have to give him a tennis winner, it's got to be no sweat. I'll go first. Take a look at that Royer Brooksby over 38.5 games. Brooksby just came off of a 5-setter. These guys are pretty close. The money line's telling you the game is going to be close. I would expect at least probably one of these sets to go 7-6. I would expect 4, maybe 5 sets, which gives you a ton of games. So I take a look at Brooksby Royer over 38.5 games. What do you got?
I can't do. I don't have any tennis that he asked for, but I have soccer for you really quick. Europa Conference League. Go under 2.5. Santa Clara versus Shamrock Rovers. Under 2.5. Santa Clara Shamrock Rovers. We laid 160 to go under 2.5. Probably go under 2. there as well. And then Raquel versus Arba also in European Conference League. And we're going under 2.5 there as well. So under 2.5 for you in soccer. It's the best I could do. Don't have tennis.
All right, let's finish up with baseball. We got limited. Oh, I had to tell you this. So when you were gone, the Rockies, the Astros took a ton of money on Tuesday. We talked about it. They opened like minus 350, they moved it up to almost 400. Rockies win. The very next day, Rockies take a ton of movie. Rockies get blown out. You keep saying, like, you got to bet all of these Rockies games. Like, if you're betting on the Rockies, you just got to stick to it and say they're going to win 1 out of 3, and you're going to be profitable. But I kind of chuckled.
It's scary to do, bro. You're running into a burning building while everyone's running out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
Yeah. What do we got in Steam for?
Not much in baseball. In fact, just 2 dogs, smaller board, but 2 dogs, they steamed immediately that multiple groups got down on. The rest, there's a lot of manipulation going on. Again, all the attention's on college football right now, and it's about to be on the NFL as well. Baseball is going to take a back seat. So you have a lot less recreational better money entering the pool. A majority is now sharp. Because of that, they are forced to manipulate a lot of these lines. And you do it with overnights and early morning smaller limits. So you could come back later when the limits are much greater and actually get down on what you like with a better number. So pay attention to line moves. Pay attention to odds logic, or at least the WagerTalk free odds screen. Talked to a guy yesterday who did a Connect call with me. That's a subscriber. And he was saying how the odds logic, because I gave him a link to it, he's like, it actually made him some money just being able to get up to the second lines. That stuff does matter. Here's what they're on. Arizona plus 145 and the White Sox plus 180. Those are the 2 dogs that multiple groups got behind today. The rest, like I said, I'm seeing a lot of manipulation going on. I'm not confirming anything till later in the day. But those 2, Arizona and the White Sox, definitely sharp. Again, you're going to be having to bet bad teams down the stretch, and you're going to have to fade the best teams down the stretch if you want to find some value, because everyone knows who needs to win and everyone knows who the bad teams are by now. It's no secret. Colorado sucks. It's no secret. You know what I mean? Like, by now, we all know the White Sox are terrible. That's no secret.
Absolutely.
But again, the money line becomes the great equalizer.
All right, Gianni, great segment. What do you have everyone up on this Thursday?
Tomorrow. Oh, no, tomorrow's Friday. Wow. Saturday, 9 Pacific, 12 Eastern. As soon as those games kick off, Steam Room is live and free, open to everyone. We will be betting live college football. You'll be getting those extra games, any player props. We'll have baseball, WNBA, any of the soccer, tennis, all that stuff live coming in throughout the Steam Room. We'll set up for college football and NFL seasons. I'll explain exactly what we're doing throughout the season with the Steam Room on Sundays, with the NFL teasers, all that stuff. So make sure you join me tomorrow. Bring any questions you have, any matchups you want me to break down. I will do that too. It'll be free tomorrow to all Saturday. Forgive me. For today, I have my Thursday night college football package up already with multiple 4% plays. I think I got 5 premiums in there, staying selected. I have Friday action already. I have my Saturday college football with the first 5% big move of the college football season. We're not wasting any time. We had a really good week 0. Let's follow that up now. And NFL is next week. So just the best time of the year, man, for sports bettors. I've done this now for 30, 40 years. And I still, like, the first week of NFL, I still feel like a kid. Like, I wake up like a kid on Christmas every first Sunday of NFL. And I've done it now 30, 40 years, and it's still the same, man. I still love it. So thank you. Thank you for your time. Hope you guys do damage tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, and the entire season, whether you follow or fade. But head on over to WagerTalk.com. Come to the Steam Room, and don't forget, free premium plays. We've been crushing the free plays, so don't forget to check those out as well.
Gianni The Greek, everyone. We're going to get you ready for the weekend tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to keep the show rolling. We're going to bring in Nick Parsons. Let's get an individual game breakdown on Syracuse and Tennessee. This is odd because normally Nick's on here giving us winners in CFL with the points, so we're going to shake it up here a little bit.
Do it.
Nick, I'm like kind of going through withdrawal. I don't see like a Rough Riders +3 or a Elks +11.5 there. Instead, we're going to go to, let's get a little bit more technical and a little bit more of a specific breakdown. Syracuse and Tennessee. And then after that, we're going to talk about a couple of contests in the NFL that you've entered, and we're going to get your strategies. But let's talk Syracuse, Tennessee. What do you see in this game?
Well, I think that the offense for the Orange is poised to take a significant step back this year, Andy. They lost Kyle McCord in the offseason, of course. Syracuse also only brings back 37% of its offensive production from last season. And so that's the least among all of the ACC teams. Syracuse brought in former Notre Dame hopeful Steve Angeli to hopefully get the job done under center, but it looks like he's going to have his hands full here in this first game. Tennessee's offense, though, is also about to suffer some growing pains as well. It lost Nico Iamaleava to UCLA. And so the Vols, they also lost their leading rusher from a year ago. They also lost a bunch of their top receivers from a year ago. Tennessee did finish 10-3 last year, and then it lost in the first round of the college football playoff. This offense, it does appear like it's going to need a little bit of time to develop some chemistry. But Tennessee, the reason it did so well last season wasn't necessarily about the offense. It was their defense last year. They only allowed 16.1 points per game. And so that was 7th in the country. Now, the Orange, they weren't nearly as good on the defensive end. They allowed 29.2 points per game. Tennessee, obviously a big favorite here, but I don't see the Vols running up the score in this neutral location. This one is in Atlanta. I always believe that unfamiliarity of surroundings will always have an impact on players, especially at the collegiate level. And so from my point of view, Andy, I just believe there are enough factors that all point to this being a lower scoring final outcome. And so I'm going to roll with the under in this one.
Love it. Love it. Always taking the points, taking the under, kind of the opposite of what the public does. So, all right, you're doing something interesting here. You're entering a couple NFL contests. I want to make sure I read this right. So you're entering the Betting Memo Show. You're entering it as an entry into both Circa and the Super Contest. All right,
Correct.
So moving forward, you're going to be talking about the picks on all these. So, all right, what's the strategy of when you're entering in two different contests, but it's the same type of contest?
Exactly the same. And I need to really clarify if they're using exactly the same lines as well. And so if there's a discrepancy between lines, I have to figure that out here as well. I mean, I only have a short time, but yes, I'm entering the Betting Memo, the actual show, which is the show that I produce for Sportsmemo guys. And so you can check that out 6 days a week here on the WagerTalk TV channel. Enter, and then it'll be something that everyone can follow along with me every week, talking about the picks and reviewing the picks from the week before. But yeah, as you say, I really have to. I haven't finalized exactly what I'm going to do. Am I going to use the same picks for both contests, different picks for each contest? I'm getting different opinions from different people before I do that. And so these will be sort of the decisions that we come to on the show next week. And then I will release my official plays. And I'm really excited and looking forward to all of that.
Well, if you use the same picks in both, that's like drafting the quarterback of your favorite team on your fantasy team because they have a great week.
Right.
I mean, the rest of your week is gold. You have a bad week, and now you're just like miserable.
It's all like all in. Yes. I'm leading towards that. Exactly. I mean, unless you have the season of all seasons, and it all comes together, but that's the way I'm leaning, is probably taking separate picks for each contest.
Well, and if you're doing great, you give yourself some hedging opportunities towards the end. You can be like, I'll take the opposite side of this one. And then that way I almost guarantee myself something. All right. Well, let us know what you decide to do. My vote. And let us know in the chat. If you're entering two different contests using the same picks, put a comment or leave us in the chat. My vote, if I were doing it, I'm going to be using different ones in the different.
Well, we'll talk about it next Thursday, Andy.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll decide. We'll decide what the plan of attack is going to be on that. Nick entering two different contests here for it. So, Nick, tell everyone what you got going over at Sportsmemo, and understand 9 out of the last 10 months been turning a profit. August, not great, but little regressions, no big deal. Looking forward to a great September. Yeah, you've had a great run. #1 college capper at Sportsmemo since 2023. So tell us a little bit about what you have up and some of the content over at Sportsmemo.
I do. I've got a loaded college football card as well. Plays going tonight, Friday, Saturday, and on Sunday. And I do have a Monday CFL pick up as well, guys, for Labor Day up in Canada. But yeah, I am the #1 college football handicapper over at Sportsmemo since the start of 2023. I only went 1-2 in week 1. I had Stanford, and I feel as if though that was a bit of a bad beat. There were some really stupid penalties there by the Cardinal, and then they just blew it there at the end. But anyways, guys, 1-2. But yeah, looking forward to week 0 here. And as Gianni was touching on there, as being primarily a situational handicapper, at the start of the season, as he said, we're just sort of guessing. We're making the best educated guesses we can. But I feel like my systems definitely get stronger as the season wears on because as a situational capper, I'm definitely using the data from the weekend before or the weekends before.
Nice. And what's going to be some of the schedule of content over at Sportsmemo throughout football season?
Well, the Betting Memo show 6 days a week, guys. And so, if you tune in next week, I'll have the segment to do with both contests. Please tune in and we can figure this out together. And hopefully you guys can follow me all season long with these picks as well.
Love it. Nick Parsons over at Sportsmemo, and we're going to talk heavy contests strategies next week. So, Nick, good luck this weekend. Can't wait to talk to you next week. Good luck, brother.
Thanks, Andy.
All right, let's go all around the world for some free plays. Before we do that, only bet that I have up right now, I actually have 2 of them. One of them is in cricket. That's in the Caribbean League. It's a 4% best bet. We're 3-1 in the Caribbean League. I know there's not a lot of people that love betting on cricket, but I know there's a lot of people that love making money. We've hit 60% of cricket bets this lifetime. So want to get a 4% best bet that goes off tonight. 4% college football best bet is up for this weekend. I keep it very, very selective and low volume. Over the last 2 seasons, I've released 36 college football plays. I've won 26 of them. That's a 73% win rate. So when we put up a college football best bet, go lock it in. We're also offering a 30-day special using the promo code ANDY30. 50% off 30 days. Does not get better than that. We're up 155 units of profit the last 3 years. We're up 15 units the last 30 days. So short term, we're running pretty good. Long term, we're running even better. Did not have a very good spring, full disclosure, but last month we've really kicked it into high gear and looking forward to getting back in the winning ways, especially with this college football. Love betting these team totals in college football. So 73% winners, can't beat that. All right, let's go to the free plays, and then we are done here. Let's start with the WNBA Sky at the Mercury. I'm going to take the Sky over 75.5 on the team total. Angel Reese, Ronald talks about this. Ski Profit talks about this. When Angel Reese plays, they score. They've gone over in 8 out of the last 9 games that Angel Reese has played in. The Mercury have given up over this total in 5 out of 6 games. Reese and Cardosa are playing. That means I'm taking the over. We're going to take a look at LSU at Clemson. This one comes from the free picks page over at WagerTalk. Clemson -3. Clemson is ranked #1 in returning starting production. LSU has one of the top portal classes, if not the top, but it could take a little bit of time to gel. Brian Kelly struggles against top 10 teams, 2-4, while he's been at LSU, 6-20 lifetime. Not very good in week 1. So we're looking at Clemson -3. Let's take some dog money here. Mississippi State at Southern Miss. Southern Miss +12.5. This is from Ronald Kabang. Southern Miss, big team overall. They get Braylon Braxton, Offensive Player of the Year from the Sun Belt transfer, 1-11 last season. Mississippi State ranked last in SEC rush defense, only 10 sacks, so the defense has been pretty trash. Lost 10 games last season. Their starting quarterback's recovering from a shoulder injury. They get a home game here to start the season. So we're taking a look at the points in Southern Miss. And for your team total today, Braves over 3.5 on their team total. Nola's going for Philly. He's given up 22 runs in the last 17 innings. The Braves have scored 23 runs the last 2 games, both of those on the road. Yeah, this could be a classic regression where they go out and they put up 1. But hot bats and Nola struggling for Philly. I'll take a little roll here with the Braves over 3.5 on their team total. All right, that's going to do it for us. Great show. Sorry Dave Mason got stuck on a flight coming from Panama. Story of his life. Getting stuck on flights in the Caribbean, South America, wherever he is, trying to get back to his cubicle. So we'll do it again tomorrow, guys. We have a huge Friday show. It's Football Friday, guys. Every Friday from here on out till next year is going to be Football Friday. We are very, very heavy. We got Teddy, we got Marco, we got myself. We got big-time surprises and big-time content to go over. So hit that like button. Leave us a comment in the comment section. Honestly, what's your strategy if you enter two contests? It's the same type of contest, just at 2 different places. Do you use the same picks in both, or do you use different strategies? I vote, I use different strategies in each contest. I don't want the heartbreak of having a terrible week and ruining my entire week. So, all right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks so much for everyone in the live chat. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Have a great Thursday. Good luck on your bets. See you tomorrow. Take care.